Hello, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. My name is Riley, and in today's video we have Borussia Dortmund. And like my other videos I've done recently, we're switching things up just a little bit. So what I have gone ahead and done is I've injected a ton of money into the Borussia Dortmund coffers. I want to see if money can override the system in the Bundesliga. Can Borussia Dortmund, with infinite resources, well, it's not infinite, but a lot of money, can they actually win and beat Bayern Munich? And I'm not talking about an individual match, I'm talking about seasons. So let's jump in and see how we have done, or how they've done. Because I've just simmed the season, I'm not actually doing anything. So, first things first, obviously, this is still FM22 and I'm not playing with an updated database. So Erling Haaland is still in Germany. He has yet to make his big Man City debut. So, accurate? Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a little different, but that's fine. So after the first season, Borussia Dortmund still falls to second place. The gap between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich isn't crazy, but it's still very clear that Bayern Munich is the better team. What kind of signings were made? That is the question. What kind of signings? Because that makes all the difference. All right, so that's players sold, players in. Let's see, should be down here. So players that they brought in: Fabian from I was gonna say Napoleon Dynamite. No, from Napoli, 45 million pounds. Who else? We also have Dowlow from Man United for 33 million, and then some smaller signings: Danny Ceballos from Real Madrid for just a little bit of money, and Nesri from Sevilla. It's not a bad signing, actually. I don't hate that he was brought in. But yeah, nothing too wild, to say the least. Nothing too crazy. Other transfer history, blah 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 blah. It looks like Niklas Sule will be joining, so that's cool. That's a big signing. He's coming over from Bayern Munich, so very exciting for that. But again, it wasn't meant to be, apparently, because they still just finished in second. Looks like they had a very favorable Champions League draw. Obviously, Olympiacos, Sporting, and RB Salzburg, so that's great for them. But what about the knockout round? How did that go? Man United. They ended up beating Man United 4-3. Okay. What about the quarterfinal? Quarterfinal also beat Inter 3-2. Semifinal? Ooh, that's a rough one. Looks like they played Bayern Munich in the semifinal of the Champions League and lost out on penalties after they were tied. And Bayern Munich, of course, they go on to win the Champions League this season. Well, that is very unfortunate. But first, yeah, yeah, it's not as great as it could have been. Transfer budget is still massive. I don't really understand where all the money went. I injected a lot more money than that into the team. The wage budget's very large, so there's that at least. But I don't know. Let's see what happens into the future. Let's go 1 year forward. All right, another jump into the future. We are at the end of 2023. Bayern Munich has went on to win the league once again in the Bundesliga, but this time it's a little bit closer. Borussia Dortmund is able to close the gap to 5 points. It's a little bit, but the goal difference, also the gap's closer there. Win losses is actually not terrible, not terrible. So that's something, at least. That's something. What about Champions League? How did they do in the Champions League? So they had RB Salzburg again, Rangers, and Lazio be able to beat all them. First round knockout. Went on to lose to PSG. So that was that, unfortunately. Who went on to win the Champions League? It's yet to be played. Bayern Munich's in it again, though. Of course they are. Of course they are. Okay, let's look at transfer history. How much was spent? A total of 343 was spent this season. Wow, that's a lot of money. 78 out. But that's a lot of dough. That's a lot of dough. And it looks like it's just on a few players this time around. Let's see. Wow, Vinicius Jr. That's a huge signing. 126 million pounds. That is a brilliantly large signing. Other players brought in Darwin Núñez. We obviously know where he's at these days, but still cool to see in game. They spent that money on him. Other players, they brought this 23-year-old Italian winger attacker over from Sassuolo, from Serie A, essentially. Yeah. Big money spent on Villarreal wonder kid Yeremy Pino, Spaniard, 2 caps for Spain, 68 million pounds for him. That's big money. That's big money. But again, weren't able to capitalize on that. When were these players brought in? Looks like they were pretty much all brought in last transfer window. So yeah, once again, year 2 at the end of 2023, still haven't done much there. So let's again jump forward and see if there's any difference when we go third year into another year and a worse result. No, not a worse result. It's just the gap between first and second is significant. And my guess is I don't see Erling Haaland on here for player stats. So I bet you he is gonzo. Did he leave? That is the question. It's 82 points, which is a drop from last season, and Bayern Munich has gone off. Kylian Mbappe and Lewandowski's still there, obviously, but they brought in Mbappe on a free. So there we go. Very exciting. So let's just see transfers. Erling, did he leave us? Erling, or did you just play hurt? Where are you? Money was sold. Money was spent. That is for sure. But let's just take a little looky-loo here and see where the man is. He's right here. Okay, so he did play all season. Most of the season, he still played 18 goals. So, obviously, he had some kind of injuries, and it affected him in some way. But let's look at how much money was spent. 250. A lot of players brought in. A lot of quality players. I don't know. Calvin Stengs, Dutch winger, comes in from Nice for 39.5 million. Adam Lozak, I'm a big fan of his. He comes for 8 from Sparta Prague. Yeah. Nuno Mendes, that's a good signing, coming over from Sporting. Get a nice little loan at PSG, it looked like. But that's a good piece of business. 43 million pounds. I'm not against that. Patrick Berg, Norwegian midfielder, blah blah blah. Roger Ibanez comes over from Roma for 35.5 million. Nemanja Jovic comes over from Serbia for 3.5, just a little bit of money. Oscar comes from Bayern Munich. We're getting their scraps still, looks like, for 23 million. Oh, that's a big spot signing. Sebastian Bornau. I don't know. He's Belgian. 25 million or 25 years old. Comes from Wolfsburg. Honestly, there's nothing here that's like grasping me in or like, hey, look at this. I don't know. Kind of lackluster. They've sold some players, but sold a lot of players actually. Maybe that's part of it too. They did sell a lot. Henry Khan is gone. But again, another season and another I don't know what the right word is. Not underachieve, but just they haven't been able to do it. They did beat Barcelona in the first knockout round though in the Champions League. So there's that. Went on to lose against Man United though, so that's unfortunate. Final, yeah, it's gonna be Man City, Man United. Yay, Man United! Good for you guys. All right, well let's go again another jump because obviously things are not working out for Borussia Dortmund despite the influx of cash. There's lots of money. They've been spending though. The transfer budget is coming back into normality a little bit. It's still quite large right now, but let's fast forward it. Let's go. Let's go 5 years this time. So we have gone 5 years into the future at this point. And honestly, it doesn't look like it's possible. It does not look like we can get anywhere close to first place. Second, 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 second. That's all it is just second place. The Bundesliga is not meant to be won. Champions League on the other hand, Lazio in the knockout, beat them. Quarterfinal, lost to Hoffenheim. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. Bayern Munich lost. Okay, good. There's that at least. But yeah, it's a tough road. It's a tough one. They continue to spend big money. That is very much a clear fact here. They spent 208. They sold 111 worth though, so that's something. I do not understand how they do business. They literally just brought these guys in. Benjamin Sesko though, that's a good signing. I like that. Who else did they bring in here? Maxi Gomez they brought in this past season. Molina. I don't know. They've done stuff, but honestly, when it comes right down to it, not enough. Like they've already gone on and sold Nunez on for a loss. I guess it's been 4 seasons. Still, seems like a loss, especially when he hasn't played a lot, but he's putting up good stat lines, good overall ratings at least. So it's unfortunate. I was hoping that by injecting some money into the club, that they'd be able to go over top of Bayern Munich and finally actually win the Bundesliga. Because as it stands, the Bundesliga is just dominated by one team, which is less fun. Pretty much all 5 seasons finish the same. So that is unfortunate. I was hoping for a little bit more diversity when it comes to the winners. Bayern Munich would get knocked off the top, but apparently the amount of money I injected was not enough. Did I raise the reputation? I believe I did. And of course, there's a lot that goes into it. Bayern Munich, they're winning, so they're gonna be able to attract that much more when it comes to talent. They're going to be able to, well, they have a great youth setup already. It's probably better than Borussia Dortmund's at this point, or still better. Thing is, theirs can't be that bad either, though. What's facilities? Like, all theirs is still pretty good. Let's be honest here, but I think Bayern Munich is just that much more. So unfortunate timing. Unfortunate that this is gonna happen, but interesting nonetheless. That money does not solve the world's problems. Well, it would solve my problems, but it does not solve the Bundesliga's problem. Borussia Dortmund held on to that number 2 spot, but they were not enough to surpass. So yeah, it'd be interesting. It would be interesting to see what happened over a long period of time if they had more money. But alas, that was not to be the case. But anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you find it enjoyable or interesting to see what would happen. But it looks like, as it currently stands, Borussia Dortmund is just not enough to top Bayern Munich. And this is with Erling Haaland. So, like, real life, even more difficult. But thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.